when he got his himself as SSG, I was one of those he consulted with. Should I leave what I'm doing in Canada to come to? I said, you have no option to come here and contribute. And I'm so proud of what he and his governor, Alex Sotsi, are doing in Abia State. We are very, very proud.
The Dean Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Agolo Campus, Professor Chibeze Ihekworome, said the faculty plans to establish a community pharmacy service within the school to provide Agolo and nearby communities with genuine drugs. He announced the intention of the university to provide a solar light project that will serve the university campus as the cost of diesel is getting out of hand.
This solar power project. The cost of energy today is so huge that our IGR and the boundary sums we receive from the government fade into insignificance. To achieve this solar power project, we have segmented energy needs into 7 different portions. The total cost is 62 million. Each segment has an average cost of 8.8 million. I use this opportunity to call on all present, friends and stakeholders to partner with us to make this vision a reality.
The chairman on the occasion and Southeast Zonal leader of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Adachukwu Dozie, congratulated the young graduates for successfully completing their programs.
The Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, has continued to dismiss claims of discrepancies between the results on its website and those presented by returning officers at the National Coalition Center, which were broadcast live during the 2023 election. The Commission stated this in a letter dated August 15 to the Center for Collaborative Investigative Journalism, which alleged to have found some discrepancies between the election results announced by INEC and the uploaded results of the INEC result viewing, IREV. INEC, in the letter signed by the Chief Press Secretary to INEC Chairman, Mr. Rotimi Oyekami, said that there were no differences in the number of polling units and registered voters in the listed states, insisting that the total number of polling units and registered voters remained as announced by the Commission. The Commissioner said does not announce election results on YouTube, adding that the 2023 presidential election results were announced at the National Coalition Center, Abuja, in the presence of stakeholders, including the media. He noted that the returning officers of the 36 states and the FCT are required to present their presidential election results individually to the Chief Returning Officer of the Federation for the presidential election, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, who is also the INEC chairman. The Center for Collaborative Investigative Journalism, relying on Freedom of Information Act in its letter dated August 7, sought INEC's clarification on discrepancies between the election results announced on YouTube by INEC compared with the results from the election papers uploaded into IREV, alleging the broadcast from 1,578 polling units where voting was cancelled because of irregularities. The Anambra State Independent Electoral Commission, ANSEC, says the September 28 local government council chairman and ward councillors elections would hold as scheduled. ANSEC chairman, Mrs. Genevieve Osakwe, who spoke at a stakeholders meeting in Awka, called on political parties in the state to commence canvassing for votes while assuring that the exercise will be free, fair and credible. Osakwe said the electoral body had considered the security situation in various parts of the state and assured the political parties that elections would hold in all the 326 electoral wards and that the results were collated, counted and announced from all the electoral wards. On allegation of pre-written election results, she said the Commission's duty was to conduct elections while urging political parties to ensure that the field candidates and ensure the electorate voted. The meeting, which was for chairmen and secretaries of political parties, traditional rulers, president-generals of communities, clergy and security agencies, was attended by only the All Progressive Grand Alliance and Action Alliance parties. The death toll has risen to 22 persons in a worsening flood disaster across Jigawa State. 16 deaths were earlier reported, while 3,834 others were displaced as a result of flooding in the state. But latest reports say 6 more persons died in a building collapse due to heavy rains in Kirikasama local government in Jigawa State. Information officer of Kirikasama local government, Musa Mohammed, said the incident happened at Gamji village in Tarabu ward of Kirikasama local government, where 4 sons of Malam Yahya died after the room collapsed at midnight while they were asleep. At Afadin village, 2 more persons were reported dead as a result of a heavy rain that also led to the collapse of their own houses. VA head of Fadin Malam Umaru Yakubu Mukadas confirmed the incident. A fire outbreak occurred in the early hours of Friday at a 7-story building on Sani Adewale Street, Lagos Island, local government area. This was made known in a statement by the director of a Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Margaret Adesheye, on X.com. Adesheye said the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service received a distress call at 5 a.m. and promptly responded with firefighters from Ebute Elefun, Sari and Lekki 1 stations, arriving at the scene 30 minutes later, saying the situation is under control. Preliminary investigation, she said, suggested that the fire was triggered by an electrical surge and that it affected several shops within the building. The National Judicial Council, NJC, has recommended Justice Kudirat Kekereekun to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for appointment as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN. Disclosing this in a statement on Thursday, NJC spokesman Soji Oye said the decision was taken following the Council's 106th meeting presided over by the CJN Justice Olukayode Ariwola. He said the meeting was held on August 14 to 15th in Abuja, just 7 days before the retirement of Justice Ariwola as a CJN. Justice Olukayode Ariwola was appointed as a CJN on September 21, 2022, by former President Muhammadu Buhari. He is billed to buy out on August 22, when he would attain the mandatory retirement age of 70. Already, the Supreme Court currently has the full complement of 21 justices. In a long tradition of the apex court, the next most senior justice will likely step in. By their hierarchies, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun is the most senior justice on the apex court bench and is the likely one to succeed. The NJC also recommended 27 candidates for appointment as judges of states courts and a candidate for appointment as Qadi of the Sharia Court of FCT, Abuja, to the various state governors and Mr. President. All recommended candidates are expected to be sworn in after the approval of the NJC recommendations to the President and their respective state governors. The Kano State government says those who invaded the State High Court during the nationwide protest carted away some of the documents used in the corruption trial of former Governor Abdullahi Ganduje. Kano State government had dragged Ganduje, his wife Afsat Umaru, his son Umaru Abdullahi, and 5 others to the court over 8 charges bordering on misappropriation and diversion of funds during his 8-year tenure as governor. Governor Abba Kabiru Yusuf, who visited the court, was conducted around the premises by the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Haruna Isa Deideri, Chief Registrar of the High Court, Abdullahi Adobayero, and some judges. Yusuf described the vandalism as a state-managed mission in which hired miscreants carted away corruption charges documents of Ganduje, who was facing multiple charges before the court, with a mission of averting corruption charges against his predecessor. He observed that the miscreants destroyed virtually all units of the High Court, including the office of a state chief judge, with loss amounting to over 1 billion naira through stealing of office equipment, destroying offices, burning cars, and other relevant materials crucial to the dispensation of justice. He called on youths in the state to desist from being used by distractors to engage in violence and advised them to rather concentrate on skills acquisition for better future, emphasizing the government will not relent in securing the life and property of the people of Kano. Meanwhile, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, has described the allegations that protesters looted and absconded with sensitive documents relating to his corruption trial as baseless and comical. The former governor of Kano State, in a statement signed by his chief press secretary, Edwin